This is the Northwest Comic Show.
Brought to you by Northwest Comic Fest on August 15th and 16th of 2015 in the Salem Convention Center.
Northwest Comic Talks on April 23rd, 2015 at Surbaugh. The Willamette Valley Collectors Market, May 31st, 2015, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
The Northwest Comic Show is also brought to you by the Soup Shack, and the word delicious, and the word soup, and the word sandwiches.
Welcome to Northwest Geek Talks. I'm here with Casey. I'm Steven. And we're here to talk about all things geek. Casey, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself, since we failed to do that in the first episode.
Yes, that's true. My name's Casey Ocupe, and I do all kinds of weird things like events. I did an art craft event. Benjamin Kreger was at that event. And I have a cosplay studio, do some big events like Northwest Comic Fest. That's going to be very exciting, fun, and positive. And, just really dive into the geek culture, major geek. What about you?
I am more of a consumer of geekness, so I read comics, I listen to vinyl, I love the Hulk, and, I'm not a fan of Batman, like this guy.
Yes, I am guilty of being a fan of Batman, and I can't really
Not just any Batman.
Yeah.
89 Batman.
As far as
Batman.
the movies, 89 Batman,
Yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
As far as the movies, that's the only live-action one that has really worked out.
Maybe we should stop talking about ourselves and start talking about our guest.
Yeah, Benjamin Kreger here.
Benjamin Kreger.
Hey.
Thank you.
All right. So you're an independent comic book publisher.
Yes, that's the main thing that I do, the thing that I enjoy the most, certainly.
Oh, okay.
I also, last year I branched out into graphic design and marketing solutions and had a really fun year doing that.
What is marketing solutions? It sounds like one of those industry
It's a really
buzzwords.
fancy way to say you make commercials.
Oh, right on.
Or advertisements.
Wow.
Advertisements.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Okay. Well, how did you get into any of it at all? Like, from the very beginning?
The very, very beginning goes back, I think 7 years or so. I was working at a bullet factory in the middle of nowhere, a little town called Lewiston, Idaho.
A bullet factory?
That's what I was going to say.
So are we talking bang bang bullets or fun bzz bullets?
The kinds that go in weapons.
Okay.
Oh. Cool.
And one of my coworkers approached me, said that her husband has started a small press comic book publishing business. She knew I was a geek because I often wear comic book shirts.
Yeah.
And
You just emanated geekness.
That's right. And I look like a geek.
Okay.
And they it had become known that I dabble in writing.
Nice.
She said that he's an artist. He's looking for a writer. She put me in touch with him. Next thing I know, I have a short story in a comic book anthology, and I'm helping to market these little comic magazines. Unfortunately, things changed in my life. I moved back to Oregon.
That's hilarious. That's the unfortunate.
That's the unfortunate thing is I was living on a friend's couch because the economic crash really hit me.
Economic stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your choice, Oregon or Idaho?
Oregon.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I love Oregon.
Right.
This is my state. Because I have some time in the military, I've traveled the world and the country, and Oregon, in my opinion, is the only state you should live in.
Wow.
Really?
I have a strong affinity for Oregon. Just everything about it I like.
You can't swim in the ocean without like a wetsuit very much.
I did
I'm fine
as a
with
kid.
that. You build a bonfire. That's all you need.
Okay.
Just build a fire, then go for a swim. It's all good.
So let's talk about your works here that you have.
I got into it because I had nothing to lose. So I started writing comic books, found a job, found some artists, paid them to illustrate my books, and now...
Is that how you get artists to be somewhat responsive as you actually pay them?
Yeah, money
Oh,
goes a
wow.
long way with them.
Imagine that.
But they like that.
Okay.
They like that a lot.
Nice.
The first artist I work with is from Little Lincoln. He is an artist out of England. I met him through on Facebook, which is now Facebook. I tend to do most of my networking through Facebook.
Right?
Yeah.
I just totally plugged the hell out of them too.
Excellent. Yeah.
Well, it's weird because like there was this thing at first where people are like, don't do business on Facebook because it's not really official. But I think in the past, just a couple years, it's the big business networking thing in a way. I don't know.
I find it more useful than LinkedIn. A lot of people say I should use LinkedIn or I should use Twitter, but I tend to get most of my contacts through Facebook.
So
It works for me. Other systems might work better for other people though.
what's Little Lincoln about?
Little Lincoln follows a 10-year-old Abraham Lincoln. His mother has just passed away, and he's very upset about this. And
wow.
we take creative license with history, and he runs away and runs into characters from American folklore. And for me, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a strange term, like a love letter.
Got like an image of Little Lincoln here.
To Disney's old folklore cartoons. I grew up watching Wonderful World at Disney. My kids don't have that.
Oh,
so this
yeah.
is I thought it would be a fun way to introduce American folklore to not only my kids, but other kids. But it's not strictly a kid's book. I mean, it's in all ages, and I describe that as when you're reading it, you'll find it, if you're a kid, you'll find it funny for one reason. And like Looney Tunes, when you're reading it as an adult, you'll find it funny for another reason, but not as perverted as Looney Tunes.
Interesting. All right.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of my humor is inspired by like Monty Python or
cool.
MTV's The State.
Okay.
But again, I because it's a general audience, I do steer away from the
So you
perverted
jump
stuff.
from one genre to another with Super Vampire Bunny.
Super Vampire Bunny is our first a young adult book. It's kind of in between all ages and our mature. It's about a typical teenager who falls into popularity by becoming a football player, and he happens to be a vampire bunny. It's an odd story. It was created by my niece when she was 9 years old, and then my brother and I, Shua, the artist on the book, came up with a feasible story. He did most of the work. I just like to polish it. And we've got the first issue out to this year, or last year, and this year we're hoping to get the second issue out by fall.
Right on.
Yeah, I remember seeing that at Rose City.
Rose City Comic Con
Yeah.
is where it debuted, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What Comic Cons do you have coming up that you're going to do?
Right now we have the Northwest Comic Fest planned.
That's awesome.
We haven't committed to anything else just yet. There's always the cost of the tables and traveling. We used to do Emerald City and the Olympia Comic Fest up in capital city of Washington, but the travel cost just became too high.
Okay.
And so now I mostly do local cons, Portland, Salem. Salem now has awesome shows.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're excited about that I don't have to travel, like 10 minutes, I think is my travel time now.
Yeah.
A lot different than 3 or 4 hours, huh?
Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
really nice.
Yeah, I think Salem, there's potential there. I think a lot of times if you want something cool, you have to make it yourself.
Yeah. And
Like comic books,
yeah.
you know? You're like, I want a cool comic book. I'm going to make my own.
Well,
Right?
So, what do you got working in the future? You got some scripts you're
Well, I
hammering
have
on right now?
several series going. Some of them are on hiatus while artists work on other projects and while I build the bank account to afford them. But our next book is being created by an Irish artist named Kreger, and that will be the long-awaited color version of Black Suited Death 0, which is the prologue to the ongoing series, which the Ides of March, which is right down there, That one is the origin story of the Grim Reaper. It has a sci-fi horror kind of bent to it, and takes place a long, long time ago on another planet.
Wow. That's
Nice.
And the new series starts up on modern day, a graphic design student, loosely based on the co-writer,
okay.
Ed Ellsworth, finds the Grim Reaper suit, puts it on, and becomes the new Grim Reaper. But we call him the Black.
Everyone's dream job.
Yeah, we call him the Black Suit of Death because the suit itself is the Grim Reaper. It just has different pilots throughout history.
Do you get stuck in it once you put it on? Do you have to trade with someone or something?
You have to die.
You have to die?
Yeah.
So does somebody just battle you, or do you become invincible? So it's a very ironic situation.
There are mysteries that we haven't quite solved yet. That's one of them.
Oh, nice. You haven't solved those mysteries yet.
Yeah, we've been playing with the mechanics. We go back and forth on what it should be. But I've outlined about 30 issues, and I think I'm up to 10 so far.
You know, I think we have some images of some of your work that we'd like to take a look at, if we may.
Sure.
You could maybe give us some description.
Well, right there, that's the cover to Black Suit of Death, Ides of March. That first appeared at Emerald City in 2011 with the cover by local artist Tony Morgan. And Little Lincoln, #1, also appeared at that same Comic-Con. We were able to fly in Paul Johnson from England, and he got to experience his first Comic-Con, and that was a lot of fun.
There's more Little Lincoln.
Little Lincoln #2. Little Lincoln's actually on 3 issues now. We're working on the 4th. Both those covers, I forgot to mention the first cover is done by famed cartoonist Scott Shaw. I was very lucky to get a hold of him. And then the second 2 covers, of course, are done by Paul, with one of them being a Wolverine homage.
Oh, wow.
Or homage.
Okay. Well, we want to bring on another guest right now, which would be Charlie Robotic Torres.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good, and you guys?
Good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What is it that you do?
Yeah.
I'm a beatboxer, so another way to put it is a vocal percussionist. I've been doing this, I'm 16 at the moment, I'm about to be 17 in about 3 months. Been doing it for almost 9 years. So I started when I was an 8-year-old, and it escalated until now.
Really?
I love that. I've never heard vocal percussionist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've inspired my son. He's doing a little
Right.
beatboxing now. Then he hears me do a little bit, but just a little bit. I don't do
Right.
very much.
I gotta hear that later.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know if you
no.
want to.
Yeah, I'm in trouble.
So, what kind of got you hooked on that
Oh,
as an art form?
Well, I've always been like really passionate about hip hop, so which is basically a backbone of it, one of the elements, and also the first movie I'd ever watched with beatboxing and just that type of variations would be Police Academy with Michael
Gotcha.
Winslow.
Yeah, Winslow.
Nice.
Yeah, I love him.
That is so awesome that that's one of your influences.
And also Will Smith on Men in Black 2.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, when he's
I
talking
remember
to
that.
the
Right.
aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was since then. There's been another kid that always tried beatboxing, but I ended up just overruling him.
So R&B being influenced by
Right.
a comic book, Men in Black, being turned into a movie. Interesting.
Yeah, never saw it that way.
Yeah, that is a strange evolution of Will
Yeah.
Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, so where have you've did some performances at different places, like where have you did some?
I see the biggest one would be TEDx Salem.
Yeah.
It was pretty great, but the first time I ever performed was just I was freaking nervous. My leg was shaking. It was 8th grade year, and I was just put on the spot out of nowhere by my principal at an assembly. So
Oh, that's
basically,
weird.
around 1,000 people just watching my first performance. So I was just like, just keep going, keep going. Then from that, it escalated to doing hip hop shows, and eventually just other little local areas and cafes here and there.
So you were put on the spot by your principal. So you had some kind of, had you been sent there over and over for beatboxing while teachers talking
Oh
or something?
no, no, she just knew because after that, that was the day before I was gonna do my first talent show, and it was the first talent show I lost. Ever since, I've either placed first or third.
Wow.
So I've done about 5 talent shows recently, and I'm about to do one actually pretty soon. So I'm gearing up for that next week.
Okay.
So yeah, but mostly they knew me because I was gonna do the talent show.
Oh, okay. So,
Gotcha.
all right.
Right.
What's the one coming up?
It's from my high school, McKay. It's on the Friday, 27th. And I'm gearing up with one of the songs I recorded with you, Voodoo.
Oh, right.
So let's see I'm doing my own remix of my own song.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we did those recordings.
You
Cool.
record music?
Me?
Yeah.
Of course I do. I do everything. I'm like a multi-artist. I have all the equipment to do everything.
Fingers are in every pot.
Yeah,
Yep.
beatboxes.
Everywhere. Yeah. And you did a track for me, Northwest Comic Fest.
Can't wait for that one.
Yeah. And so what else is coming up beyond just the school performance?
I'm also doing the Northwest Comic Fest
That's true.
both days.
That's actually true. Yeah.
You're gonna be there both days?
Yeah,
Right on.
Yeah.
can't wait for it.
So I first saw you at this month's First Wednesday
Right.
event in downtown, and I have to say I was stunned.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was expecting not near the caliber you were putting out, man.
Right.
That was awesome.
That's
Well,
what
he
that was my
stops
surprise.
everyone, and I hear people, and they're like, "Is that guy in the back got some kind of like thing that's like boosting the
Right.
weird, you know?" Because they just can't comprehend it.
I actually went home because I recorded you on my phone
All right.
because you're in a public place and it's legal to do that.
Oh, good explanation.
And I go home and I take my phone. I'm like, you gotta listen to this kid. This is amazing. And I play it, and of course the speaker on my phone sucks. And my wife's like, it really doesn't sound that great. And I was like, oh man, I gotta get this video transferred to the computer so you can hear it over the computer
Right.
speakers because all the low end's gone. It's basically all.
So now you're gonna hit me up for one of the copies we made.
Yeah. I
So.
am.
One of
Yeah.
them's actually on SoundCloud now, so
Yeah.
Oh, one of the ones that we
yeah,
recorded.
the Voodoo's on SoundCloud now.
You gotta
So
come
you got
back
a
in there.
CD?
Yeah, I got it from him, but it's just the only song. It's the first song I ever recorded that I actually originally made it myself. But I have other freestyles I've done because I'm also in choir as a beatboxer.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I wake up every morning. It's kind of a hassle, but it's my passion. It's what I
So
do.
when you gonna commit and lay down 6 or 7 tracks to create a demo CD?
I'm actually working on a studio.
Are ya?
Yeah.
Right
this is
on.
My summer project. I'm trying to hold on to a job right now. But I'm
So
only
you're gonna build
16.
your own studio.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
My own empire, my own house.
Nice.
Wow. That's awesome.
So
So
do you do sound effects like Winslow?
That's what I always wanted to do at first, but I ended up just getting to hip hop and just percussion.
The percussion
But
stuff.
mostly, like, I could do like robots, but like, and everybody just like, what did he swallow? So that's basically, yeah, mostly because bro came from the name Robotic, so that's why I would do a lot of dubstep, which go like, so a lot of bass and robotic.
That was a fantastic performance.
Thank you.
Damn, dude.
Thank you.
You're utterly spectacular. It didn't sound, as I said, like a human would have the capacity to do that.
Right.
It's like a superhero thing. I guess that's why you're going to the comic convention, to represent in that way.
Yeah, definitely.
As in a human robot?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, and thanks, Benjamin, for being here
Yeah.
also.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah,
Well,
it's always a
really exciting.
pleasure to have people willing to share their work and talk about how they get there. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I think it's nice talking to you because you're a nice person.
I try.
Yeah.
That's
the way
not
it
what
is.
he was saying off camera. But
I say all kinds of terrible things off camera.
you do.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm
All
not
right.
recorded then.
Well, that's our show for this week. Until next time, keep your fly zipped up. Thanks.
This is the Northwest Comic Show.
Brought to you by Northwest Comic Fest on August 15th and 16th of 2015 in the Salem Convention Center.
Northwest Comic Talks on April 23rd, 2015 at Cinnabar. The Willamette Valley Collectors Market, May 31st, 2015, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
The Northwest Comic Show is also brought to you by the Soup Shack. And the word delicious, and the word soup, and the word sandwiches.